Welcome to InfluenceSyc, your #1 history channel, where we uncover the hidden secrets you've never heard before. In today's journey, we head to France to reveal the story people dying to hear, and this is a story of a woman. They called her the Ghost Queen of France, a woman both feared and admired, a shadowy figure who whispered in the ears of kings and was rumored to see the future itself. This is the story of Catherine de Medici. But who was she, really? A fiercely protective mother, or a queen of darkness who ruled through blood, poison, and prophecy? Let's uncover the secrets behind the crown. Born in Florence, Italy, in 1519, Catherine hailed from the powerful and infamous Medici family, a name synonymous with immense wealth, political power, and dark secrets. At just 14, she was married off to the French prince, Henry, who would later become King Henry II. In the glittering French court, Catherine was an outsider. She wasn't considered a great beauty, nor did she possess the royal blood of her peers, but what she lacked in conventional assets, she more than made up for with a sharp, calculating mind, a dangerous intelligence that would become her greatest weapon. When Henry ascended the throne, Catherine became Queen of France. But this title was hollow. Her husband's heart and devotion belonged to another woman, the stunningly beautiful Diane de Poitiers. For over a decade, Catherine was sidelined, forced to watch silently from the shadows as her husband's mistress held more power and influence than she did. She was often humiliated, but she was never idle. She was learning, observing, and patiently biding her time, mastering the treacherous game of court politics and survival. She understood that in a world that saw her as disposable, she had to become indispensable. Then, on a fateful summer day in 1559, destiny intervened in the most brutal way. During a jousting tournament held to celebrate a peace treaty, King Henry II was grievously wounded. A splinter from his opponent's lance pierced his eye and entered his brain. For 10 agonizing days, he lay dying. In this moment of national crisis and personal tragedy, Catherine seized control. She barred her rival, Diane de Poitiers, from the king's deathbed, and, as he drew his last breath, Catherine de Medici stepped out of the shadows. She was no longer just a queen in name. She was the regent, the true power behind the French throne. This was the moment her dark and enduring legend truly began. With her newfound power, Catherine gathered a circle of mystics, astrologers, and seers. She was deeply fascinated by the occult, seeking guidance from the supernatural world to navigate the very real dangers of the political one. Her most famous and influential advisor was a man whose name still echoes through the centuries, Nostradamus. Yes, Nostradamus. He became her personal confidant, interpreting the stars and providing cryptic prophecies to guide her through the turbulent storms of religious wars and political intrigue. It was said that Nostradamus warned her of the jousting accident that killed her husband, and that he foretold the grim fates of her own sons. Soon, whispers filled the court. People claimed Catherine didn't just listen to prophecies, she could see the future herself, and perhaps even bend it to her will. But with her rise, darker and more sinister rumors began to circulate. Legends spoke of a secret room hidden deep within her castle, a cabinet of poisons, a place lined with hundreds of exquisite, colored glass bottles, each containing a beautiful but lethal concoction. It was said that enemies who dared to cross the Queen Mother would meet swift, silent, and mysterious ends. They called her the Black Queen, the Serpent Queen, a master of toxicology who could deliver death with a perfumed glove or a poisoned letter. While many of these tales were likely exaggerated by her enemies to paint her as a villainous Italian sorceress, the fear she inspired was very, very real. Then came the most infamous and bloody event of her reign, the St. Bartholomew's Day massacre in 1572. What began as a political assassination spiraled into a citywide slaughter. Over the course of several days, thousands of Protestant Huguenots, who were in Paris to celebrate a royal wedding meant to heal the nation's religious divide, were hunted down and killed by Catholic mobs. The streets of Paris literally ran red with blood. History has pointed its finger directly at Catherine, painting her as the architect of this horrific massacre. But was it a premeditated act of religious genocide, or a desperate Panicked reaction to a perceived threat against her son, the king. Was she a cold-blooded murderer, or a ruler making an impossible choice to save her family and the throne in an era of unimaginable violence and fanaticism? The debate still rages among historians to this day. It's easy to see Catherine as just the Black Queen, a villain from a history book. But behind the power, the poison, and the prophecies, she was also a mother. She saw 3 of her sons become kings of France, but they were frail, weak, and ill-suited to rule a nation tearing itself apart. She fought tooth and nail to protect them and preserve their dynasty. In a world dominated by brute force and patriarchal power, she wielded her intelligence, her cunning, and her political acumen as her primary weapons. Her methods may have been ruthless, her choices morally ambiguous, but in a brutal world that constantly sought to destroy her and her children, she not only survived, she reigned for 3 decades. Catherine de Medici died in 1589. Just as France descended further into civil war, she left behind a fractured kingdom and a legend that would outlive her by centuries. Some say her restless spirit still haunts the grand corridors of the Louvre Palace, forever searching for a peace she never found in life. She remains one of history's most complex and controversial figures, the Ghost Queen of France. The woman who ruled through power, prophecy, and fear. So, what do you think? Was Catherine de Medici a malevolent schemer, a true serpent queen? Or was she a pragmatic and misunderstood ruler, doing whatever it took to survive in an age of chaos? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed unraveling this dark chapter of history, don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more untold royal stories. Thanks for watching.